What's that?
We are returning from closed session. I would ask the city attorney to please report on closed session.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. City Council is in closed session this evening. Conference with legal counsel on existing litigation. There's 5 cases listed on the agenda. Further, during closed session, conference with legal counsel on anticipated litigation, 5 potential cases. There's no reportable action on any of those items.
Thank you. I will now ask the roll call.
Okay, council members Powers. Here. Singleton.
Here.
Shelton.
Here.
Cruz.
Here.
Payne.
Here. I would invite you to join me in a moment of silent prayer, and then we will follow that with a flag salute. Vice Mayor, would you please lead us? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I will ask for agenda approval. Are there any additions or deletions? Council? Then I would ask to pull E3 and 4 for discussion. We have no presentations, so we will go to public comment.
Okay, actually I'm going to read the video statement first, and then we'll go to public comment.
Please read the video statement.
This meeting of the Galt City Council is being videotaped in its entirety and will be cablecast without interruption on Metro Cable 14, the Government Affairs channel on the Comcast and SureWest cable systems. Tonight's meeting can be seen on Channel 14 and will also be webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv this Friday and Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Tonight's meeting can also be seen via live video streaming on the city's website at www.ci.galt.ca.us. A DVD copy is also available for checkout from any library branch. Members of the audience wishing to address council should fill out a speaker identification form and give it to the clerk. Please speak into the microphone when addressing council and state your name for the record. Okay, now we'll move into public comment. Under Government Code Section 54954.3, members of the public may address the council on non-agenda items. Speakers may address council on any agenda item during consideration of the item. Speakers shall restrict their comments to the issues that are within the subject jurisdiction of the City Council and limit comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Please fill out a speaker sheet located on the table inside the entrances to the council chambers and forward the completed speaker sheet to the city clerk. Let's see, Hayden Logan.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me. My name's Hayden Logan. I'm with Greener Solutions, and what we're trying to do is bring energy efficiency and awareness to the city of Galt. We are Greener Solutions. Our goal is to raise energy awareness about sensible energy savings and rebates that are offered to us by SMUD and PG&E. By living green and saving green now is a great way for our community to strive together as a whole. This program has been around for the last 2 years, but it really hasn't been expressed to the community by SMUD. They really haven't got the word out about it, even though it's such a great opportunity for the homeowners of Galt to get energy retrofits to their homes for fractions of the cost with all the rebates coming from PG&E and SMUD. Energy Upgrade California, also known as EUC, is a statewide program structured to save your household up to 40 to 50% on your monthly utility bills. If your home is located within SMUD, which the homes in Galt are, there's a very great amount of rebates. It's up to $9,000 per home that you can get after doing these energy retrofits. As a partner and energy professional, Greener Solutions, we're offering free home energy audits to the houses just to spread this energy awareness. From windows to heating and HVAC, our experts are doing houses south of here, and we're able to, you know, come into a community and just save a ton of money through the rebates. It's an excellent opportunity to help out with the environment, to create a positive awareness within the community, also to lower our monthly utility bills, which we all know can be so strenuous and very hurtful to our pockets. By upgrading the homes also, we'll be creating a ton of value within our community, you know, making the house values appreciate. We're reaching out and hope to get some support from the local government to actually help us spread the word of this great opportunity. It's a great way to promote something that that the local government does not have to come out of pocket for. SMUD is actually the one that's going to be giving the rebates to the people. So it's a great opportunity, and I wanted to hand out some flyers to you guys. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is kind of something about our street. I've never done this before.
Thank you very much.
And our information is on there, and it's just a great opportunity for the city of Galt to, especially the older homes. If your home is over 20 years old, this is just an excellent opportunity.
Your time's up.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
The rest are all under items on the agenda.
Okay. Then where are we now? Consent calendar.
Okay, we have 4 items. First one, approval of the minutes of the regular and special meetings of November 1st, 2011. Number 2, approval of the City of Galt warrants. Number 3, which was pulled and will be discussed, Public Works Agreement with Coastland Civil Engineering. And number 4, which was pulled and will be discussed, change to the City of Galt Personnel Manual, adding Section 4.08, interim position.
I pulled this item, or these 2 items, because they were on consent calendar, but I felt like because it was dealing with money and a change to a personnel issue, or maybe not an issue, but a change in personnel policy, that it would be good to be transparent and bring this for some discussion, maybe some explanation a little further than what's here, if the city manager would care to do so.
2 items. We'll take number 3, which is the Public Works Agreement with Coastland Civil Engineering. I'll ask our interim Public Works Director to provide a brief explanation for council, and council can ask any questions that you might have.
Okay, thank you.
What's that? Right there.
If you want to go to the podium, you can. No, I'm kidding.
New guy. Council, this item is related to the number of vacancies the Public Works Department has in senior staff. Starting date, we've been here 2 weeks now. We have senior civil engineer position that was vacated from the job some time ago, and we were fortunate to obtain services of Coastal Engineering, but not just Coastland itself, but they had an employee, John Griffin, who was a former Galt engineering staff member, who actually I've met up in Taylor County, I was looking at their part-time recently, so I was glad to see him be available in fill this position. The arrangement we do there is that the cost for a consulting engineering firm to provide a staff person generally exceeds that of a city employee, so we cut back the hours so that we, from a budget standpoint, we enough balances. However, the city manager's contact authority is $20,000, so if we add up the time this position is likely to be vacant, it would go over that, so we thought this matter.
So, how long would this continue? Do we have any idea?
Well,
And we're asking for like a monthly, rather than,
We're putting a limit that is the cost savings for the vacant position. So we don't need any more money. We're just using the savings from the vacant position to be able to continue to employ John Griffin through Coastland until we can fill that position. And I can't give you a time frame. Right now, we opened it. It's actually closed. We're reviewing some of the applications now. There is a good chance that we will hold off on filling that position until we fill the Public Works Director position and let the new director appoint that position, since it is one of the senior level positions in that department. So the expectation that I have right now is that it will remain open for the next several months.
One of the things I think I remember is in every classification, do we have like 5 steps of salary increases? So in this case, we would automatically go to the highest step plus the cost of benefits. Is that what you're asking?
No, we're just saying that we're using the savings from he's not paid according to our personnel rules. It's a contract, and so let's say the old position was getting $8,000 a month, then we're limited in this new contract to pay the firm $8,000 a month. And typically, as the director said, it's going to be less than a full-time position. So because the contractor is being paid at a higher rate than a City of Galt employee, and so we have to reduce the hours from 40 down to 20 or 25 or whatever it was in order to stay within the budget for that position. So we're still within the same money, we just are filling it using the contractor.
So was the budget for that position, was it at the highest classification rate? Do you know?
The person that was in that position, I don't know if they were at the top step or not. Do you know, Paula? Yeah, so she was probably at, step 5, which is the top step for the position.
And so I guess what I'm hearing you say is when you hire a consultant, it's going to cost more than if we had a full-time employee, and that's why you're going for that maximum rate. It's
going to cost more per hour. We're not going to spend any more than we would have spent through the existing employee. Right. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. The point I was trying to get at is that we're going to be automatically spending the maximum amount of money for that position, for that classification.
Not automatically. We're asking for authority to go up to the max. We may end up spending less than that.
Okay. And you're wanting to include the cost of benefits if we were paying benefits to a full-time employee, correct?
Yeah, that's the next item. The personnel manual changes is to get authorization to pay to allow us to hire a contractor as long as we're staying within the total compensation for the position, which is salary and benefits.
So these two items sort of go together.
Yeah.
So if we pass this tonight, then it will be a permanent change to the personnel manual?
In the next item, number 4, it is a recommendation is to amend the personnel manual to allow staff to hire on an interim basis if you have a vacant position to be able to fill that position up to the maximum amount for the position, including salary and benefits. But it still would require, if we go over the $20,000, it still requires us to come back to council to get authorization. So it doesn't change our requirement to come back to you to enter into it, but it does change the rules that allow us to, when we do a contract, we can go up to the total compensation for the vacant position. So the goal is we don't want to spend more than what's already in the budget. And so this allows us to do this.
That's why I'm trying to determine, not knowing how long we're going to do this, we still know we're staying within budget.
Yep.
By using a consultant.
That's a requirement in what we're asking you to approve tonight is we will not be allowed to exceed what is already in the budget. We're not asking for any more money, so we would not be allowed. Finance director wouldn't allow us to go over what's in the budget. That's what's written into this. That's what we're asking the council permission is to just go up to what's already in the budget and no more.
And that would be continued with in the future. Whoever is our city manager would still have the same authority to do that.
Well, we still have to come back though to council every time we do it. Every time we do that.
Okay.
So it doesn't grant us the ability to exceed the contracting authority going forward.
Or the budget.
Or the budget.
Okay. Yeah. Are there any questions from anybody else?
I'm a little confused, so help me out here, please. I thought I got it, but no. So 10,200. Could you please give that to Liz? 10,200. Okay, $10,200 a month. But if it goes up to 20,000, you can okay it without coming back. So if we've got this guy for, I'm just going to say 5 months, you can give an extra $8,000, so that would be $40,000, and that would be over the budget.
Say that again?
Well, okay, you've got it for $10,200 a month, right? Isn't that what it says in here?
For Coastland?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can okay up to 20,000. So I'm not quite kind of understanding that, because if you're saying 10,200 is what
Well,
you need.
total, I can only approve 20,000 total. So if
Oh,
you go for
okay.
2 months, you're over $20,000.
Okay.
Does that
I
make sense?
thought, yeah, I thought that it sounded like
Yeah.
you could do 20 grand every month.
No,
No.
20,000
Okay.
total. So when we actually did this because we needed to fill the position, I executed a first contract only up to $20,000. But we know it's going to last more than a month and a half, and so I could fill it immediately. But in order to go more than
Got
just
it.
a month and a half, I got to come back to council and say, okay, you have to approve us to go beyond that $20,000.
Got it.
So you'd have to come back every council meeting to get permission to do this. Is that?
No.
If we don't approve
This
it.
contract will allow us to continue that contract month to month as long as we stay within budget.
If we approve it.
If you approve
If
this,
we don't, then you'd have to come back every meeting almost to get it extended.
you'd have to do it
Reapprove.
month to month. So
Okay.
that's number 3. That's the contract that you're considering tonight. Number 4, I know we've kind of confused that a little bit. Number 4 is a little bit different because it deals with an employee that we've hired directly as an interim position. We've got 2 different types of employees. We hired, for example, Coastland with John Griffin, we hired through a company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we have to have a separate contract with that company, and that's where my $20,000 authority comes in. Richard Prima, we hired as a retired employee from another city. We hired him directly as a part-time employee, as an interim employee. There's no company involved. It's just Richard coming on board. And so I can hire a part-time person in that position as long as I don't go over the budget. However, the current language of the personnel manual and the rules that we have don't allow me to pay beyond the current salary range. And so what number 4 is to give me the authority to pay up to the total compensation for the position instead of just the 5 steps. Because if you hire a part-time position, there's no benefits involved. There's no PERS, there's no medical, and so when you have an interim position, you want the flexibility to hire at a rate that you'll be able to get a person to come in and fill that position. So as long as you're not going over budget, number 4 allows me to hire within that range for that position, for benefits and salary.
Okay.
So
I think
those
all,
are the 2 items. They're kind of separate, but they are also very similar.
yeah, I think all of these items are pretty similar. It's just sorting them out and figuring out how it's going to come out in the end, which is we will still stay within budget.
We will still stay within budget.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not asking for any additional appropriation.
So,
So we kind of lumped them together. Do you have any other questions on number 4, which was Paula's item that she brought forward? Is that clear on both number 3 and number 4?
I think so, unless anyone else has any questions about the personnel manual on this. I think you gave us a lot to think about at one time.
You want to take one at a time?
No, I think we're clear now. At least I am. Vice Mayor, you also?
Mhm.
Everybody else? Okay, I think we are clear. Now, do we need to go ahead and take these, since I pulled the separate ones separately, or can we go ahead and
If
move?
you want to just move the consent calendar, you can just.
Okay, since I pulled 2 items, I will move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Thank you. We have a first and a second. Is there any other discussion? Then roll call vote, please.
Okay, Vice Mayor Powers?
Aye.
Councilmember Singleton?
Aye.
Councilmember Shelton?
Aye.
Councilmember Cruz?
Aye.
Mayor Payne?
Aye. Motion passed unanimously. Let me stop there and go back, though, and ask Liz to read. Did you read all of the consent calendar?
I did
Then
read all of
stop you. Okay.
I did read all of it.
Okay. I'm getting everybody confused, including myself. So then we're ready.
Vacation.
I'm going on vacation. Next item then.
The next item is under scheduled matters, public hearing, the Walmart retail store, approval of litigation settlement agreement, and determination of substantial conformity of revised site plan.
Hey, good evening again, Mayor and council members. I'm very pleased to be able to talk to you tonight about the Walmart store. However, I would like to say that I hope this is the last public hearing that we have on this particular project. By way of background, as you're all very much aware, this store will be located at the corner of Twin Cities and Fermoy Way. It's planned to be a 133,000 plus square foot store on that 11-acre parcel. The city approved the project back in April of 2010. Litigation was filed a month later challenging the environmental impact report for the project. In January of 2011, the Superior Court determined that the environmental impact report was in fact adequate, with the exception of the analysis of potential noise impacts from forklifts. The noise chapter of the environmental impact report was thereafter revised in response to the court's finding. The Planning Commission approved the revised environmental impact report and reapproved the project in June of this year. After the Planning Commission's decision, there was an appeal filed to the City Council. The City Council denied the appeal, certified the revised environmental impact report, and reapproved the project in July of this year. In August, an appeal was filed challenging the judgment of the Superior Court. The Court of Appeal issued an order in September requiring the parties to participate in mediation. The parties did, in fact, participate in mediation towards the end of October, and within several days thereafter reached a settlement agreement which is presented for your consideration and approval tonight. The settlement agreement provides, in summary, that the Galt Citizens for Sensible Planning and the individual petitioners will dismiss the litigation in consideration for certain modifications of the site plan that was approved by the City Council in July. The modifications that are called for in the settlement agreement, in fact, necessitate a few other minor modifications, and in a few minutes, Chris is going to review those specific modifications to the site plan in more detail. The process that we're using this evening to accomplish these required changes is called making a determination of substantial conformity. And basically what that means is that you are determining, if you approve it tonight, that the revised site plan is nearly identical to the plan that you approved in July of this year. As the City Council was the body that approved the site plan in July of this year, it was determined that this body would be the most appropriate body to make the determination as to whether or not the revised plan is nearly identical to the plan you approved earlier this year. Additionally, since the settlement agreement requires City Council approval, and it is the provisions of that document that affect the approved site plan for the project, again, it seems to be most appropriate for the City Council to review the site plan for substantial conformity. If the City Council approves the settlement agreement this evening and determines that the revised site plan substantially conforms to the site plan approved in July, then that will start a 90-day period in which to challenge the Council's action tonight. At the end of the 90-day time frame, if no challenge has been filed, then the revised site plan will become the final site plan for the store, and at that point in time, the petitioners will dismiss the litigation. The city and the petitioners will also be entering into a separate agreement called a noise monitoring agreement, which is attached as Exhibit C to the settlement agreement. What this agreement provides is that the city will retain a noise consultant to conduct a noise monitoring test on 2 separate occasions during the first year of operation of the Walmart store. In the event that the noise monitoring determines that the store is not in compliance with the city's noise ordinance, then the city would work with Walmart to achieve voluntary compliance. In the unlikely event that an informal resolution could not be reached, then the city would act to enforce the standards of its municipal code. At this point in time, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Chris to go over the site plan modifications, and then after he's done with that, I want to spend a few moments and just talk about the process for tonight's hearing and the resolution that's before you for consideration.
Goody, it should come up in a minute.
We can count down.
Are you gonna turn up these lights?
I will in a minute. I need to wait 5 more seconds.
Good evening. My name is Chris Rice, Senior Planner with the City's Community Development Department. My part of the presentation, as Steve mentioned, will focus on the revisions to the site plan.
Chris, is your mic on?
Can you hear?
I can hear it now.
Okay.
Can you hear? I'll hold it closer. Perhaps I was
Good,
a little
yeah.
too far away. The current slide shows the revised setbacks, which triggered the modifications throughout the site. The rear and east side setbacks were increased approximately 15 feet. The increased setbacks provides an additional 15 feet of landscaping to the south and east. You can see the additional the 15 feet on the east side basically increased the existing landscape strips on both sides of the drive aisle on the east side of the building. These revised setbacks meet all city requirements and do not constitute a significant change to the approved project. The wall on the south property line will be moved 5 feet north. This increases the existing landscape easement on the south side of the wall from 20 feet to 25 feet. The remaining 10 feet will be a landscape planter on the north side of the wall and will be planted with 15-gallon redwood trees at 20 feet on center spacing. This minor revision also does not constitute a significant change to the project.
So Chris, this is at the rear of the building?
Correct. If you recall, there was a landscape easement that actually was Walmart property south of the wall. That essentially is going to be increased to 25 feet. So this is behind the store.
Okay.
The approved plan did not have a landscape island on the Walmart side of the wall, the store side. The revised plan will have, as mentioned, a 10-foot easement, a 10-foot landscape strip with the redwood trees. You know, again, in staff's opinion, this revision does not constitute a significant change to the project. The design of the wall is also part of the settlement agreement. The wall will be constructed using 3 alternating shades of color blocks. The current slide shows the wall design. It meets all city requirements and is consistent with the project's conditions of approval. The increased building setbacks altered the parking area on the north side of the store. The small landscape islands were modified slightly, and the clock tower pedestrian plaza has been revised. There were also modifications to the entryway at Twin Cities Road. A landscape strip was added along the parking adjacent to the drive aisle. The main pedestrian and vehicle access points remain unchanged. These changes meet all city requirements and do not constitute a significant change to the project. The parking layout in the seasonal display area on the west side of the building was also modified. As you can see on the slide, the layout of it is altered and the number of parking spaces in this area is reduced slightly. The overall number of parking spaces was reduced from 531 to 522. The seasonal display area now shows 18 parking spaces, which are not included as part of the required parking. The revised layout provides 504 parking spaces, counting toward the minimum requirement. Based on the size of the store, Walmart is required to provide a minimum of 503 spaces, so the revised parking still meets requirements. Pedestrian and vehicle access into the site from this area remains unchanged. The revised parking configuration and total number of parking spaces meet requirements and do not significantly alter the plan. The area dedicated to the clock tower has been reduced. The large landscaped area adjacent to the tower will be reduced and the eucalyptus trees will be removed. Pedestrian access to the tower area is also revised. Entry to it is now from the corner rather than from the walkways connecting to the sidewalks along Twin Cities and Fermoy. The proposed enhanced entry from the corner of Twin Cities provides a pedestrian plaza and will make a desirable focal point for the project. The clock tower design will remain unchanged and will be similar to the architecture of the main building. The revised pedestrian plaza and self-supporting clock tower still meet the central features and community space requirement of the city's big box ordinance. Staff believes the changes are in substantial compliance with the approved site plan. The slide on the screen shows all building elevations. There are no changes to it. And that really does it for my presentation. As Steve mentioned, the proposed modifications to the Walmart site plan are consistent with all city requirements, and as such, staff believes the revised site plan is in substantial compliance with the approved plans. However, since the City Council approved the site plan for the Walmart project, you are now being asked to determine whether the revised site plan substantially conforms to the approved plan. And we are asking that you adopt the attached resolution.
Okay, Mayor and council members, you have one resolution before you for action this evening, and if adopted, this resolution would first of all approve the settlement agreement. The settlement agreement is Exhibit 1 to the resolution. The settlement agreement also has several exhibits to it. Exhibit A is the existing site plan. Exhibit B is the revised site plan that Chris just went over, and Exhibit C is the noise monitoring agreement. The second part of the resolution, in addition to approving the settlement agreement, would be to approve the noise monitoring agreement. The resolution would also authorize the city manager to execute both of those agreements and to take all necessary steps to implement those documents. And finally, the resolution, if adopted, would determine that the revised site plan substantially conforms to the existing site plan and that the City Council is conditionally approving the revised site plan this evening. So those are the action items contained in one resolution. When you get to the point of entertaining a motion, I'd be happy to read a motion into the record. At this point in time, Mayor, my recommendation is that you open the public hearing, take any public testimony, close the public hearing, and then the council would be ready to deliberate on this action item.
Thank you very much. So we will now open the public hearing. Are there any comments?
Al Baldwin?
Good evening, Al Baldwin. Yes, I am a concerned citizen, and Walmart's been my concern for a long time because it's going to help increase the character of Galt, which will be a very positive thing. I just want to say thank you for all the years that you've spent getting to this point. We're 90 days away. I think we've got Walmart. I think it's there, even with taller redwood trees. So it'd be kind of nice to have something like that, maybe. If you cut the limbs off, you can sell the wood and make a few extra bucks for the city, maybe. But nevertheless, it's been a pleasure dealing with this. And 90 days away, I think it's like 99.9% positive that we're going to have it. And I hope you all agree. And it's been a lot of effort, a lot of years, and a lot of concerns, and a lot of revising of big box, small box, medium box stores. And you've gone through an awful lot. So if it was me, I would be making the announcement, we're going to have a Walmart. So 90 days, look out, here we come, because I've already said it at the Board of Supervisors. Thank you.
Thank you, Al.
Yeah.
Dave Dahlgren?
Evening, Mayor and Councils. Dave Dahlgren. Been in Galt 19 years now. Normally I'm up here giving away going away gifts, but this time I'm on something which I've been following for a long time. And I echo Al's comments, just gentleman before me. I do believe that this is coming at the right time of our, what do you call it, history here. on the calendar, whichever way you want to put it. For a long time now, I've been driving down to Lodi, and I'm anxious to see the time when I can just drive up to Twin Cities Road. I'd like to see the time come for me personally that I can spend my tax dollars here in the city of Galt instead of down in San Joaquin County. And in the back of my mind, when I see a police car on the street with an officer inside, I'd like to have the satisfaction that some of my 2 cents worth or 5 cents worth is going for his salary and whatever he needs. It's been a long time coming, and I personally would like to thank everybody who worked so hard on this myself. I don't know who it is or whatever, but it's great due to the fact is that everybody sat down at the table, and yes, it took time, but all good things take time. So thanks for everybody, all parties involved, for making this thing a reality. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your kind words. Okay, City Attorney, then would you please, well, let's close the public hearing, and then read or provide us with the resolution that we would be voting on.
The recommended action this evening is move to adopt the resolution approving the settlement agreement among Galt Citizens for Sensible Planning, Walmart Stores, Inc., and the City of Galt, and determining that the revised site plan substantially conforms to the previously approved site plan for the Walmart retail store project.
Thank you. Were there any comments or questions from council? Any further comments, questions from council?
And Mayor, as I indicated before, there is an amended resolution that was presented earlier this evening. There was 3 words that were changed, or 4 words on the last page. The phrase "and conditionally approves the revised site plan" was added so that you'd be acting on that amended resolution.
Okay. Okay, you've heard lots of stuff about Walmart. Is there a motion at this point?
Gladly make a motion that we accept the adoption as read, with the changes.
Thank you, Councilman Shelton, and we have a couple of seconds. I'm going to let Liz pick the one she wants.
Oh, I just heard one, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'll take that one.
okay. Roll call vote, please.
Okay, Vice Mayor Powers.
Aye.
Councilmember Singleton.
Aye.
Councilmember Shelton.
Aye.
Councilmember Cruz.
Aye.
Mayor Payne.
Aye. Resolution has passed unanimously. Okay,
Very good.
moving on.
Okay, we're to the regular calendar. Under City Council office, our first one is actually separate from me, but I wanted to move it up on the agenda, so I thought this was appropriate. Committee commissions appointments. And tonight before you, I come to you again with some vacancies on 2 committees. The first one is our Committee on Aging, and I won't read all the qualifications and everything. There's 1 vacancy, and it's Councilmember Shelton's choice. He has 2 letters of interest before him.
Okay.
So
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank both that applied. I think they're both highly qualified. But at this time, I would like to ask, I believe, actually both of the applicants are in the audience, but I'd like to ask Christy, is it Wallen? If you would just please stand and be recognized, please. Thank you, and thanks for volunteering. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Our next committee is our Youth Committee. On our Youth Committee, we have 2 vacancies to be filled by Councilmembers Cruz and Singleton. And you have 4 letters before you tonight. I believe we have a couple of them in the audience. So I would defer to Councilmember Cruz and Singleton.
Age before beauty, is that what you're trying to say, Mark?
I don't know who's the older.
Yeah, as, I'm gonna follow in the same footsteps as, Councilman Shelton. I think we had 4 applicants, and for what I read, well qualified. But I'm, for my choice, Virginia Menez, is she in the audience?
I think she is.
I don't know what she looks like, so she would be my choice for that seat.
Thank you.
Oh, my turn.
Your turn.
As for I have to echo the same thing as Councilman, Singleton, thank you. But, I find my choice coming to Bianca Ochoa.
And I don't see Bianca up here either. Thank you for your appointment.
And thank you for the letters, it was nice
Yes.
getting your choice. Our next item, strategic plan. Let me do my thing here.
I will remind everybody that earlier in the year, the council met in a workshop and came out with a strategic plan of specific goals that they want to attain in the next 6 months. And to be sure that we're making progress, we review these periodically, which we will do tonight. And I'm going to ask the city clerk to read the goal, and then I'll read the progress that we've made.
I'll let you get this on the screen. Matt in there?
Is it not working?
No, that was Chris.
Yeah, get your hand off the keyboard.
No, I was just trying to put it back and bring it back to me. Hold on, let me try one more time.
Okay, if not, we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Doesn't want to. Nope.
Okay, like I said, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way and read it without a visual aid here. So, Liz?
Okay. Our first one is enhance economic development. It's number 3 on the screen. Present to existing local businesses results of the Buxton market and site analysis, and provide training on available tools for local businesses to retain their business.
As we reported earlier, we hired a consulting firm, Buxton, to take a look at Galt and see what would be a good fit for businesses to come here. And they gave their report to approximately 24 people in a public, was it a public workshop or just open to businesses or really anyone? And in addition, they met with local healthcare providers, and they are urging us to really pursue that area further. So that item has been completed.
Okay, next we move to item number 6 on your page.
Okay.
Contingent upon RDA resumption, present to the City Council for action a conceptual development agreement for an entertainment complex in Old Town.
So on this matter, our city manager and I also met a couple of times with developers, and we're meeting with them on an ongoing basis to look at a feasibility study to determine viability of the project. Whoops, I skipped it. Sorry, which is it, number 6?
Number 6.
6, yeah.
Okay, that's the right one. Plan to undertake feasibility study to determine viability of project. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next item.
Okay. Next item is attract, develop, and retain quality staff. Develop and implement a citywide employee recognition program.
What,
Number 2.
Number 2, okay. And we have revised our completion date from October to December. We are currently finalizing the program, which will be presented to the city manager then, instead of the original date to December.
Getting close.
Getting closer. Okay.
So we'd have to change that on the comments from November 10th or to December, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what's the next?
Okay, next is improve financial stability and maintenance of reserves. Number 4, analyze their department's cost of programs and services, compare the cost to the current department fee structure, and report the results to the city manager.
cost of services have been calculated for one service provided by the finance department. Based on the work effort required for this task, staff noted that it may be a more efficient use of staff to hire the services of an outside consultant. Staff will be developing an RFP and come back to the council. Thank you.
We're on number 2, under increased community engagement. Recommend to the City Council for action the appropriation of funds for 2 additional community signs to be placed at 2 parks.
And I would say that we have completed that item. We haven't got the signs up yet, but we know where we want to put them.
Yeah.
And one of them we're going to delay till the interchange is pretty much completed so that it won't be damaged. But basically that item is completed.
Okay, yes, one more. Number 5, provide services and facilities responsive to community needs. Submit grant applications for Safe Routes to Schools, RSTP, which is Regional Surface Transportation Program, Bike Pedestrian, Congestion Mitigation Air Quality, and Community Design.
And following this, I'll come back to Councilman Singleton and ask him to report on his items. Did you not want to?
Oh,
This is the
I
one-
was gonna wait till the end of comments. I can just wait till then. If you want me to do it now, I can.
Well, let's take this one first,
Okay.
and then I just wanted you to be prepared.
I thought I was until you shot me well, right now.
Unfortunately, we applied for 3 grants and we got 1, but it was one big grant. Two of them we did not get was the Safe Routes to School and the Congestion Mitigation Air Quality grant. But we did get the Community Design grant. And if we seem a little flaky tonight, it's because prior to this we had a big celebration at the Galt place with ice cream only, no alcoholic beverages, but it was an exciting evening to have the Galt place have their ribbon cutting and all the dignitaries and the whole I guess you'd say team that has been working on this for, what, 5 years?
Plus.
Plus, to actually see it materialize and come through the hardest times financially, and it just took almost an act of God to make this happen, but everybody was pushing so hard. And so it was really exciting tonight to cut the ribbon on the Galt place. And because of our investment and our belief in this, SACOG, which is the Sacramento Area Council of Governments, of which I happen to be one of the directors on that board, I am proud to announce has granted a $2 million grant to Galt to continue our work on the corridor, C Street corridor, which will tie in our interchange with this wonderful project, Galt Place project. And we wouldn't have gotten it without the Galt Place project that we had the ribbon cutting on tonight. So for our time and energy, we're going to be getting $2 million from SACOG. In addition to that, the project was recognized, and Chris, you want to jump in on that? You did such a good job tonight. You know it better than I did.
Yeah, Galt Place was recognized by SACOG and was given it actually won the 2011 Special Recognition Award. Each year, SACOG recognizes local projects and local groups that embody certain items, and one of them is smart growth. And so they recognized the development team of CFY Development and the city for the Galt Place project and and the smart growth principles that the project embodies. You know, it's mixed use. It incorporates transit into the project. It's an infill project, and they just recognize it as being something different and unique for Galt. And it's really a tribute to the city and the developers to get this award.
Do you remember? Can you talk a little bit about the carbon factor here that they were talking about tonight?
Well, one of the things the project had used, and I can't go into too much detail, that
I
really
know.
wasn't my background, but essentially in addition to the smart growth principles and practices of the project, it includes a lot of environmental friendly designs, and one of them was the use of glue lams and wood to support the building, which is really unusual in a building of that size. The floor throughout the building is made of recycled, actually I don't even remember what it is, but it's a recycled material. And they just made extra efforts to really go to a green project. And it's actually gotten recognition, I want to say, regional for its use of the wood in that type of building for supports. And if you haven't been into the building and you could see these massive wood glue lams holding up the structure, it really is amazing. So the project is unique in that regard.
And a glue lam is like recycled wood that's been pressed together, is that correct?
That's correct, essentially to make a big beam, for lack of a better term.
So we built this huge building out of recycled materials almost. And I am exaggerating a little bit, but it was quite an accomplishment. And it'll be something that will be probably recognized all over the United States because of its unique structure and architectural designs.
Well, and I'd like to say I think that is probably one of its most notable features as a design, and that was part of the recognition, SACOG, is that the design really embodies, what an old town should look like without, becoming too gimmicky. So the architect had done a great job of designing that building.
Okay. Yeah, it was hard to be serious tonight with all this business because of the hoopla we had there in the celebration, but we have to go back to work.
Good news.
So, Mike, so we can wrap this up, you want to talk
sure.
about yours?
What I want to mention, I was going to save till the end of the our comment section, is on November 30th at the community room at the Galt PD, myself and certain other individuals from CERT, Elk Grove Galt CERT, are going to do a presentation on a NET program, which is the Neighborhood Emergency Training. Thank you. And anybody interested, you can show up 6 o'clock, and we'll give you more information at that time. It'll be very short, maybe half hour, 45 minutes, and then we'll give you some more information at that time. That's it.
Okay. And that was our item number 4 under Provide Services and Facilities Responsive to Community Needs. Yeah. And Councilman Singleton took the lead on that. I think we made it without help of technical devices, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Next item then.
Kansas City Manager's Office, agreement with Galt Joint Union Elementary School District for the 21st Century Grant for Summer and After School Programs.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. My pleasure to present this item to you this evening. Since about 2009, the city has been providing after-school personnel to 3 different elementary schools, or 2 different elementary schools and a middle school in the community, Greer, Valley Oaks, and McCaffrey, through a partnership, an MOU we have with the elementary school district. They receive a grant called the ACES grant, which is an after-school program grant. We provide staffing, and then we were reimbursed from the school district from those grant funds. We use those funds to provide the part-time employees to help at the after-school program. The elementary school district now is in the process of applying for another grant called the 21st Century Grant, which would provide additional after-school programs through the remaining 3 elementary schools in the district, which are River Oaks, Marengo, and Lake Canyon. Also would provide a summer program, which the district has not been able to provide for a number of years, and all with grant funds. They're looking to develop this MOU with the city now so they can include it in the grant application, which is due in December. Anytime you can show collaboration among different entities, it's a good thing to put in into that grant application. Another thing that was recently completed that we're going to be bringing back to the council shortly is the Galt Youth Master Plan, showing the city, the school district visions for youth in the community. Those will all be elements that they'll be able to include in their grant application that will hopefully strengthen that grant. And so through this grant, if the district is successful, What the city will agree to do is essentially do what we're doing now with ACES, only in an expanded capacity. We would provide part-time recreation workers at all of the school sites on an after-school program basis, and then during the summer we would also provide part-time personnel, part-time recreation workers to work at all of the school sites. We would be reimbursed 100% from the grant proceeds. That would include all the costs associated with paying the personnel, as well as some of our administrative costs for doing payroll, hiring individuals, background, all the things we need to do to do that. Also would provide us with a part-time supervisor position to monitor the employees that we would be hiring. So at this point, the recommendation is there's two separate resolutions because there's two separate grants and two separate agreements with the school district. The first is for the after-school program. The recommendation is to adopt a resolution approving the MOU with the Galt Junior Elementary School District for after-school programs at Marengo Ranch, River Oaks, and Lake Canyon Elementary Schools for the 2012-13 school year, funded by the 21st Century Grant Program. And then the second resolution, the recommendation is to adopt a resolution approving the MOU with the school district for a 2012 summer program at all the school district sites, funded also by the 21st Century Grant Program. At this point, I'm happy to answer any questions that the council might have.
Any questions or discussions, comments on this item? If not, can we take these two items together in one?
Yes, ma'am.
in
We can move
one
both
motion?
resolutions as read by the city manager.
Is there a motion to that effect, please?
Move to approve the two.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Vote, roll call vote, please.
Vice Mayor Powers?
Aye.
Councilmember Singleton?
Aye.
Councilmember Shelton?
Aye.
Councilmember Cruz?
Aye.
Mayor Payne?
Aye. Motion passed unanimously. Thank you. Next item.
Next item, Culture and Recreation Department. Approval of Parks and Recreation strategies to increase revenue and attract customers to Galt businesses.
Union Mayor and City Council. Staff has been working with executive consultant Barry Wise to develop some strategies to increase revenue and attract customers to the Galt businesses. Barry Wise comes highly recommended by our ex-assistant city manager, and what he'll be doing, he'll be delivering the presentation now.
In fact, I'm highly recommended by my wife. Madam Mayor and members of the City Council, first of all, it's a pleasure to be back here and see all my friends up on the dais, so
That's good to
I
see you
start with
again.
that. You do have before you a very comprehensive approach to increase revenue for Parks and Recreation and to attract businesses to the Galt customers. Attract customers to the Galt businesses, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Certainly ties in very nicely with one of your strategic goals to enhance economic development. That's one of the missions of Parks and Recreation, and staff is working very hard toward that end. There are 4 components listed tonight, strategic actions, that we ask your approval on. Also, we ask that you adopt the attached resolution revising the schedule of fees for Parks and Recreation programs and facility rentals. This whole approach was put together because increased revenue will allow the City of Galt to continue offering services and then even enhance those services even as costs continue to go up. It will also help the city avoid the need for increased taxes, at least defer that for a longer period of time. The Galt market, of course, also helps decrease the need for increased taxes. There is a typo in the report that is my fault. The market revenue covers 74% of the total budget for Parks and Recreation. So the market is a big contributing factor. As I mentioned, it's a comprehensive approach to try and increase revenue and attract customers. Actions that staff has already taken. Online registration is now available to the community, and every community that has implemented that has shown an increase in revenue. Credit cards are now being accepted for customer convenience. There is a satisfaction guaranteed policy practiced by the staff and certainly welcomed by all the customers. Satisfaction guaranteed means that if you're not happy with something, we will give you a credit for that class or that program, and you can take something else through Parks and Recreation. A customer service training, 3.5 hours, is scheduled for the end of this month for all staff. The recreation supervisor is putting an enhanced focus on revenue-producing contract classes. The web page layout is being enhanced. With the online registration comes a number of survey tools of customers that will be used to focus on their needs and revenue opportunities. So that's all happening already. The desired next steps that we ask for your approval are, the first one is elimination of non-resident fees. The basic philosophy behind that is a non-resident fee is a reason not to purchase a program or a rental. This is anticipated to help increase department revenue. Other cities, including a city where I was the director of Parks and Recreation and several others, have experienced an increase in revenue when this is part of the strategy. We firmly believe that the fee charged for programs should reflect the value of the program. A customer who does not live within the boundaries of Galt should not have to ask themselves or us, why am I paying $70 for a $50 value? We also sometimes, many times, need non-residents in order to reach the minimum number of people in a class to make that class go. We are looking forward to attracting customers from other cities and the surrounding county and have them spend money in our town besides in our program. To go out to lunch, fill up with gas, stop at the convenience store, whatever. The process of questioning residency in its current cumbersome form is time-consuming for staff, and that time could better be spent focusing on increasing revenue. Another key to that is when customers are confused, they do not patronize your business, they go away. And right now we have two different levels of non-resident fees plus the resident fee, and not all programs charge a non-resident fee. And some only charge, a resident, non-resident, some charge a resident and two different non-residents. And quite honestly, the city is not being overwhelmed by non-registered, non-resident registrants. Only 12% of the over 4,000 program registrants come from outside the city limits of Galt. Again, we're trying to attract people to Galt so they will spend money in our town. The second strategic action that we are recommending is a needs-based scholarship program for residents only. And you see the following guidelines in your report. To highlight a few, these program scholarships would be awarded only when funds are available. If you remember back many months ago, the truck show that was conducted at the market grounds, one of their contributions was toward the scholarship fund. We're also going to be putting on the online registration form an opportunity for people to donate to the scholarship fund. The program scholarships will be available to children under the age of 17, only to the City of Galt residents. There will be partial scholarships. They will not exceed 50% of the cost of the program. And there will be a limit of $100 per family in a calendar year and no more than 3 programs per person in a calendar year. And we recommend those guidelines to spread out the positive impact that we can have with this. As you know from your report, the Parks and Recreation Commission approved in its entirety these recommendations. They were very clear on one thing that staff has already begun to implement, that on the online registration form where people can check off to donate, that we make it clear that the scholarship should be for Galt residents only. The third strategic action recommended is to adjust the instructor city percentage split for special interest classes. Right now we offer a 90-10, 80-20, 70-30, depending on what category it fits in. Staff is recommending that council approve a range, allowing staff to enter into an agreement with a special interest contract instructor anywhere from a 50-50 split up to a 90-10 split. The typical split would be 50-50, and so that would be a change. Now, existing instructors would be grandfathered in. If they are already in a 90-10 or 80-20, they remain there as long as they remain a contractor with the city. Having this range gives the staff the ability to adjust to special situations as well as market forces in a timely manner. Currently, the city is getting a very poor return on its investment for contract classes. If you look at in the report at all the items that the city provides for special interest classes, they provide registration, all of the accounting that goes into it, the marketing and promotion in a variety of ways, the facilities, including setup and janitorial, instructor support, including class lists and class notifications to students, and any troubleshooting, such as complaint handling, schedule changes, cancellation notice to students, etc. So we think it's very fair that we adjust that percentage split. And we do allow, in this recommendation, go up to 90-10, and in special circumstances, which where the city would still realize revenue, we would not have to have the fees so high to the customers to preclude people. The fourth and final recommendation is a fee adjustment for rental of the Galt softball complex. Again, staff is working diligently in their mission to support economic development in Galt, with the focus on attracting non-residents to Galt. And you notice I've said non-residents several times. The reason for that is residents are going to spend their money here anyway. We want non-residents to come in who might spend their money, as the gentleman earlier in the evening said, somewhere else in San Joaquin County. We want them to come into Galt. And softball tournaments attract lots of non-residents, and they come and they spend money. We want to make it more attractive for those tournaments. And so the current rental rate for the Galt softball complex is $1,000 for a full day and $650 for a half a day or 7 hours. Staff is recommending these fees be reduced to $750 for a full day and $500 for a half day. Also, implementation of a new fee of $1,000 for a 2-day sports tournament. You really benefit when you have an overnight involved, where people come, play one day, then spend the night, and play the next day, because they're going to spend money in a hotel. And on a very conservative estimate, you can estimate an expenditure of $100 per day per person, not per participant in the tournament, but per person. So if I play and I bring my wife and my 2 boys, you can figure $400 per day per person is what's going to be spent. And actually, that can go as high as $140, $150 a day. I went very conservative on the estimates because that's good budgeting. This money spent in Galt could total, in a typical tournament, 2-day tournament, $67,200 spent in Galt. That means that could potentially result in an increase in jobs for local Galt businesses. That wraps up the summary of the program. Again, the Parks and Recreation Commission unanimously approved it, and at this point I would be happy to take any questions you may have.
Council, any questions or comments?
I have a comment. I know it took a really long time. I think you did an excellent job, all of you guys working together. I'm really pleased with all of the results. As a city, we have to look for ways to make money for the city, but not to kill anybody that comes in and want to do anything. And I think you've done everything very reasonable. It makes it attractive to the outside to come into our city, and I think that's what we're looking for. You guys did a really good job.
Thank you. Councilman Singleton?
Yes. Wow. What a great job. What a great thing to point out. I love the strategy of the non-resident. That's like taking down a big stop sign, saying you're not allowed in our neighborhoods or in our parks because you don't reside here. I think what a fantastic idea. I think you guys did a wonderful job of doing that. As I look through it, all I could think of was, wow, how come we didn't do this before? Like when we were first elected in the office this last year. I mean, that was a great idea. Thank you for bringing that to us and the changes along with this motion you're bringing up to the council. Thank you.
Any other comments? You want to read after all that, you want to read the recommended action?
Okay, the recommended action: approve the Parks and Recreation Commission and staff's recommendation for number 1, elimination of non-resident fees for recreation programs and services. Number 2, scholarship award programs limited to Galt residents. Number 3, instructor city percentage split adjustment for special interest classes. And number 4, Galt softball complex rental fee adjustment. And adopt the resolution approving the fee schedule.
Adopt the resolution revising the schedule of fees for parks and recreation programs and facility rentals. That's the title on the resolution.
If I could make, Mayor, some modifications on the proposed action. There is a resolution in your packet, and my understanding is that the resolution accomplishes the elimination of the non-resident fees. It changes the instructor city percentage split adjustment, and it also imposes a fee for the Galt softball complex rental, right? Those are embodied in the fee schedule attached to the resolution.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, so the first action I would recommend, I think there's 2 actions we need to take to accomplish the 4 items. The first would be to adopt the resolution revising the schedule of fees for parks and recreation programs and facility rentals. So that's the first recommended action. And then I'll come back to the second one.
Okay.
Make that motion.
Councilman Shelton has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mark got it out first. Go ahead.
We have a first and a second. Any other discussion or comments? If not, I'll call for the vote.
Vice Mayor Powers? Aye. Councilmember Singleton?
Aye.
Councilmember Shelton?
Aye.
Councilmember Cruz?
Aye.
Mayor Payne?
Aye. Passed unanimously.
Okay, and then the last item to accomplish item 2 under the recommendation would be to move to adopt the need-based scholarship program for residents only with the guidelines as specified in the staff report.
Is that it? Do I have? We have a motion from Vice Mayor Powers. Is there a second? 1 second.
I will second that motion.
Okay. Councilman Singleton has seconded the motion. Vote, please. Roll call vote, please.
Vice Mayor Powers? Aye. Councilmember Singleton?
Aye.
Councilmember Shelton?
Aye.
Councilmember Cruz?
Aye.
Mayor Payne?
Aye. Passed unanimously.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Good job. Good to see you, Barry. The next item is communication, and I would like to, under this item, ask Al Baldwin to come up to the podium first, please. Don't give me that funny look. Just do it.
Let's do as the mayor tells you.
I want to read a letter that we got from Don Natoli regarding this notorious Al Baldwin.
Okay.
Dear Mr. Baldwin, I am pleased to inform you that you have been selected as one of Sacramento County's 2011 Heroes of Human Services Awards resolution recipients. Nominations were submitted throughout Sacramento County, and in each case, those selected for this recognition have touched the lives of others through their advocacy, service, and support. The letter's quite long. The Sacramento County Board of Supervisors is partnering with the Human Services Coordinating Council in honoring all the 2011 Heroes of Human Service awardees. This recognition will take place Tuesday, November 15th. Did you miss this?
No, I was there. You can watch it on TV.
Oh, okay. Oh, the ceremony will take place in the board chambers. It was 9:45 this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to close with this last paragraph. Too often, efforts of those who are committed to improving the lives of others in our community go unnoticed. However, it is intended that through this recognition, we will have the opportunity to express our thanks and appreciation to you for your good work. And I'm sure this council joins in the county supervisors in appreciating you, Al Baldwin.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You don't have something to say? This is not like you.
Well, you know, I can say I said things today, and I did praise Galt, by the way, while I was out there, so you can watch it. But it's the community that makes you do things, and you know, I've been put here to do things, and that's my purpose in life, and that's what I try and do. And if I can help some people, I will. If I see something that looks maybe a little awkward, then I'll say something about it. And I'm here to help the citizens. Sometimes they're afraid to get up here and talk in this little old microphone here. Or maybe you guys up there kind of scare them and they'll mention it to me and I'll come up and say it for them. And just little things like that help. You know, it's the little things that really work. And when you volunteer your help, you don't get paid for it. People say, I'm too old and I can't do it. Not me, but I mean, they're saying they can't do it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do what I do. It's just a matter of getting off that chair and getting up and doing something and helping out. It's satisfying. It's wonderful. It's really great. And to see a town blossom like this one is starting to now, it's even better. So, you know, with all the new people and the police chief, he's a wonderful guy. I mean, this is amazing. I didn't think we could get anybody better than him. And then we start getting the city manager, and I mean, it just doesn't stop. And of course, Walmart. So, you know, it's just one of those great things that you love to see. And yes, I do get involved with a lot, but I couldn't do it without my wife putting her thumbs up and saying, go for it. But when she says, no, not tonight, I say, you're right, I won't. And it's the way it is. So I work with Mike on a board, and he's one heck of a guy too. You better watch him. He's doing a great job. So I think you're going to see some major things happening in Galt with a lot of people, not just me, and getting this award. It's wonderful, and I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, but it's nice to get awards. Let's put it that way. And but it won't deter me from doing anything. I'm gonna keep pushing. There's other new projects like that started already. So thank you very much. I appreciate the concern and announcement. And hey, thank you.
We're proud of you, Al.
Well, thank you. I'm
wanna-
proud of Galt.
I want to say, don't sell yourself short, Al, because communities need leaders, and you always step up to the plate, so
Well,
we need leaders.
if that's what you want to call it, I guess you could say I'm a leader, but there's so many out there that don't even realize that they have leadership in them, and they'll be amazed once they find that out. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Al.
Thanks, Al. Good job.
Okay, now we will adjourn the regular meeting and go to the redevelopment agency. We'll have a roll call, please.
Yes. Board members Powers, here. Singleton,
I was gonna say aye.
Here.
Felton,
Here.
Bruce,
There.
Payne.
Here. Public comment?
I have no speaker sheets.
No speaker sheets. Consent calendar, would you do that, please?
Yes, we have two items tonight. The first one, approval of the minutes of the meeting of November 1st, 2011, and the second, approval of the redevelopment agency warrants.
Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, I'll call for the vote.
Board members Powers,
Aye.
Singleton,
Aye.
Felton,
Aye.
Bruce,
Aye.
Payne.
Aye. Passed unanimously. We will now close the redevelopment and reconvene to the regular Galt City Council meeting. City Clerk's report.
Okay, just a couple things tonight. In your packet, you have a short staff report. Due to the furloughs and the holiday schedules, the city offices are closed December 26th through December 30th. Our final council meeting will be on Tuesday, December 30th. The city will be open on the 21st and 22nd. We are then closed until January 3rd. We are scheduled to have a council meeting on January 3rd, but due to the holidays and the furloughs, obviously staff cannot timely prepare agenda materials, and at this time, we recommend that you cancel the meeting of January 3rd. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
You're asking us if we will, huh?
We've looked at our calendar, our agenda calendar that goes out, and there isn't anything critical that's scheduled for that meeting, nothing that can either be moved forward or moved back.
Okay. Can I ask you something just on the offices being closed? And I'm sorry I didn't say to ask you this first, but is there going to be a number that somebody can call the city in case something happens when the whole city is closed down for a week?
Yes. Police department dispatch remains open, so if there's a water leak or a sewer spill or traffic accident, whatever it is,
Okay.
somebody's at dispatch, that's a 24/7 number that they can always call.
Are people aware of the fact that if the just making sure.
We can put some information on the website.
That would be
We'll
great.
know where to
Okay,
go.
yeah, so people will know that when we're closed, that where to call.
Yeah.
Okay, good point. Any other questions or comments? So, let's see, what do we need? A motion to cancel that meeting?
I make a motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second it.
First and second, roll call vote, please.
Vice Mayor Powers? Aye. Councilmember Singleton?
Aye.
Councilmember Shelton?
Aye.
Councilmember Cruz?
Aye.
Mayor Payne?
Aye. Hey, we're gonna have a day off. Thank you.
Let me give just a couple reminders
Okay.
before we move
going.
on. On November 17th, there's a beautification committee meeting at 3:30 in the City Hall Community Room. There was a Commission on Aging meeting scheduled for November 24th. That has been canceled. And the city offices are closed November 24th, which is a Thursday. We're also closed Friday, which is normal. A Galt Youth Committee meeting on December 5th at 6 p.m. in the City Hall Community Room, and that takes us to our next council meeting.
Okay, is that it?
That's it. Thank you.
Comments by staff? No comments from the staff? City manager, any comments?
Expecting to have any more good news?
Yeah.
No, we have
Yeah.
enough already.
Never enough.
No, we're doing well.
We are, aren't we? Okay, no comments from staff, then we'll go to the council members and Vice Mayor Powers.
I did attend the Veterans Day dinner, and it was very nice. It was well attended. It was a great salute to the veterans here in our city. Food was great, and I won a couple of raffle prizes.
Good for you.
So can't complain.
Yeah.
Wow. Need to take you to Reno. You win all the time.
Councilman Singleton, any other
Well, there's no
comments?
comments. You gotta go to Reno. Yeah, there's just a couple of things. I would like to revisit on my paperwork. It's 9.44 chapter. It's solicitation ordinance for the city, and also regarding hours of operation for our parks. Resolution number is 2007-36. We could get with staff on that, and we'll bring that back to council when deemed appropriate. But we'll let you know at a future date. That's it.
Okay, Councilman Shelton?
Yes, I imagine the mayor's probably gonna talk about the CAS committee, so I'll just say that I was there.
Oh, go ahead.
Meeting that we went to. Oh, okay.
Please.
Jason, the mayor, and I were there, and you know, I was really happy that this was. They said, I think, like 3 years since we had representation from all the agencies, all the schools, Sierra Health. I mean, there was like 18 of us, I think, in that room, and I think it was pretty good because we sat down with some projected goals and objectives that will come back in January. We're going to host Jason volunteered, I think, before the mayor and I could volunteer him to host that first meeting. But I think it's very good, it's in line with just what's happening this week. You know, with the Galt Place, with Al being recognized, I think it's the city. We're all moving in the same direction. Like I said, it's amazing what happens when you put the right people together, the right team, and they all are positive, you know, most of the time. So I just had one thing in closing that since we won't see everyone for Thanksgiving, I'd just like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
And do you want to say what CAST stands for?
No.
Put me on the spot.
Cities and schools together.
You could do it.
Well, I had it down, but he already said it.
All right, then. You're off the spot.
Thank you. Like the way I threw my voice, Jason, what was that again? No.
We got to have these parties more often. Come on.
Yeah, well, some of us did ask that during the meeting, so.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
is that actually?
Okay, Councilman Cruz.
I just want to reiterate that today's festivities are just the beginning. We promised we're going to keep moving forward and doing positive things for the city, and I think it's showing. So Galt Place is one start, Bruce's is another. On we go.
Is that it?
That's it.
Well, I think this council has said everything I can possibly say, so I'm going to say we are adjourned.
Thank you.